let me start with a few slides. I'm going to share my screen. Let's put it in this way. All right. So based on our agenda, I will show you how to operate SafeNet Authentication Manager product. I will show you the process that will require to enable smart card logon on the system, and we will see how the same works with network attached system and the system that is offline. Few words about authentication in general, just to set up a base. SafeNet Authentication Manager creates a framework for token management, first of all, token management, and content that you have inside of the token. So when we talk about token, it can be USB type token or it can be a smart card token. There's a crypto chip, very similar to the SIM that you know from mobile world. There's the memory space, CPU, and operation system. Operation system is Java OS, what we call Java applet. And this actually control the content of the storage that exists on the smart card chip. Whenever we want to put something on the smart card, there's the process of authentication that's handled by this operation system. And if we pass authentication, then we can communicate with the smart card with one of the interfaces that smart card exposes. Example of these interfaces would be PKS11, is the way how we communicate with the smart card. It's going to be example. Another example is copy, crypto API. This is how Windows natively communicates with a smart card. And JCE and JCA, and this is if you need to do some programmatic interface, if you have application that need to talk to smart card. So when I mention framework is because a SafeNet Authentication Manager can bind itself to Active Directory to get an idea about users. It can bind itself to Microsoft CA to act on behalf of the user or administrator to generate the content, in our case certificate, and to publish it into a smart card. In certain environment, the RSA key pair can be generated on the card itself, and then SAM will take signature sign request and send it to certificate server, get it back, and deliver a certificate to the end user token. So token itself consider as a secure container where we store certificates. Because this is a mobile, you can take it from one machine and use it on another machine. The target machine will identify token as a smart card and will present to operation system as additional smart card store. Operation system by default knows what it is a registry as a smart card store, what is this user, or this computer context for places where we can store a certificate. So when you plug the token, it became additional store that operation system knows to look for certificates into. Once we have a token activated on the system, the very next time you try to use this token or you would like to use certificate out of this token, the communication between token itself and the certificate, so between the user and the backend, does not pass a SAM. So it goes straight to domain controller, it goes straight to CA server for authentication. So in this matter, SafeNet Authentication Manager is more as token management system, and as the by the way, it can provision the content that we store inside of the tokens. So the place where SAM can take users is going to be Active Directory, or local database for local users. So we can read users from remote repositories, or we can handle and manage our own list of the users. For this demo, I have two machines. I have Windows 7 and I have Windows 2008. On Windows 2008, I just install all recent updates, but this is relatively empty Windows machine. So we will do everything from scratch, and you will see what you need to do to enable certificate authentication as itself, and then how we make SAM help in token management. So let me start with Windows 7 machine. Can you see my machine well? It's not too small?
No, you're good.
All right. So this is my Windows machine. Right now, I have under NAT, so it's somewhere inside. I will plug. So right now, we can see there's no any smart card or anything like this exists on this machine, and there is no mini driver installed. Now, whenever you plan to have user self-activity on the system, then we will need to install additional piece of software. It's called Safety Authentication Client. And this is, think about it as an advanced driver for the smart card. By default, so I just plug a smart card token to e-token to my machine, and I'm going to mount it to, I just need to find it, this one, remote machine. So you can see it's found as smart card with a mini driver. So for this smart card to operate, we need to enable update from Windows, from the Windows website. Okay, so I can go just like this. All right. So once I enable update for the driver from the internet, let me see, it's supposed to find a smart card driver. So it's supposed to be similar to plug and play. So give it a second. It will find the update for the smart card, and then it will install the driver transparently for the user. So once the driver is installed, we can see a smart card as the token as a smart card on the system, the token itself. So right now we have token assigned to, or actually injected inside of Windows machine. If I take it out, the driver will be disabled, and you don't see this as a device. All right, so now let's switch to Windows machine and Windows server and start to prepare So I'm going to install domain services. This is the only machine that I have here in my environment. And I choose it to be enterprise, just to show you, to be able and show you templates for certificates, CA certificates. Now I'm going to run BC promo. All right. So we have the main controller here. Now let me install IIS server, because application actually uses IIS server. And then I also install certificate servers. So private keys, type of the key, let's do it SHA-1, SHA-2. All right, this is IIS. For IIS, I need the ASP.NET. I will need to have some authentication mechanisms. All right, so I have 3 users here. I have my IIS and my CA installed. All right, what else? Let me make my Windows 7 member of this Active Directory. As a Windows here, so let me look on the Windows here. All right, so I'm Active Directory user. I have very little permission on this box. Let me prepare my CA server. And you can see that all this activity is done even before I start with SAM, because PKI CA server can work perfectly without tokens, right? So we add tokens to add security. All right, at that point, I will go to Manage. I will take Smart Card User. So this is a certificate management part. And I will do duplicate. And I will do it SAM, just so we can distinguish Smart Card User. Renewal, it's all good. I don't want to touch this one. Security. I want domain users will be able to enroll it. All good. Subject name. So email. This email thing, so we need to make sure we do have email on the user. Otherwise, it will not work. Or we need to disable on template this feature. So it depends how you like it. And, all right. So then I will leave this email as itself. What else? All is good. So click on OK. Now I want to duplicate this template. And now I will call it SAM admin, so we can distinguish between them. And here, request handling. So request handling is okay. We will work with issuing requirement, and we will need administrator, at least one administrator to approve it. And this administrator will need to have certificate enrollment token or certificate for certificate enrollment. So it means that I can enroll token for a different user. So me as administrator, I can enroll token on behalf of a different user. Just to show you this option, how you actually do it. If I go to certificate, I can request new certificate. So I don't see this. What is it?
You're on a local computer.
Yeah. So here, I can behalf of. But very first thing that will ask you is what is your signing certificate. So I need to have this template or this certificate so I can enroll token for the user. Otherwise, I cannot. So no certificate available right now. Okay. So I have this certificate also. Do I need anything else? I'm good. So just different templates. Now in standard version, if I use a Windows 2008 standard, I will not have this template thing. I will not create my own. So but I still can use a standard one. So if I do new certificate template to issue, you have enrollment agent that you can issue, and you also would select these two SAM that we just created. I want to create a service account, right? So let me create a service account for my SAM. I will go copy SAM account. SAM account. Now this account, I need to give it some permission. So first of all, domain admin to be able and install application. I can give him local administrator. So there's a few options how we install SAM. We can alter schema, or we can just read only schema. So depending on this, I might need to give him some additional permissions. But let's say right now, I don't want to do it. So what I do want to do.
One quick question. Are you making him a domain admin because you're installing it on the domain controller for the demo, or does that service count no matter what has to be a domain admin?
Yeah, this guy needs to be domain admin because it will send a certificate request behalf user. It will, you know what, we will see, at least for install, it needs to be domain admin, but I think we can scope it with a certain delegation.
Okay.
And not give them entire domain admin.
Okay, cool.
All right, so what else do I need? I think that's it. So I will log out and log in. Let me see. So let me try to enroll certificate for this guy. Do I want it to do anything else? Looking up. Okay. So those are certificates that I have right now on my token. I just created a bunch of certificates, so I want to create a new one. So let me see if I will be able to do it. And same going to be here. Okay. All right, here you see I would not be able to use this one, but I'd like to use this one. Now in details, you can see different crypto providers whenever it comes to private key. And so right now, it's going to use the Microsoft Strong Cryptographic Provider. Once we install a mini driver, or sorry, the SEC, so driver, advanced driver for smart card, if you want to call it, then we will see e-token here. It will say e-token. But right now, I still want to use a smart card to store my token, my certificate. So I will uncheck default one. So if I have this one, the certificate will store in registry and on the hard drive at the end of the day. If I do like this, then it will be stored inside of a smart card. So I will select this option. So I want a very specific crypto provider. So now you see it asks me for PIN code for the smart card. If I would use a regular one, it will just go to the end and be successful. So because I selected smart card, I need to provide the PIN. I hope I remember what PIN is for this specific card. So now you don't see it, but technically what happened, on the e-token, there's a LED light, and it's kind of like blinking. It says that token is working, and it generates RSA key pair, send out certificate request, receive back approval, and generate certificate while it has a smart, while it has RSA key pair on board. So this is token that is right now I have my private key. You can see who actually issued this certificate. So what template was used, right? And you will see some additional characteristics here, such as token revocation location, all this stuff. So I'm not focusing on PKI, right? I'm focusing on smart card. All right, so how do I approve this? So right now, different user is giving me option only to type username and password if I want to run application as different user. So let me plug the token again. Now it gives me option to use a certificate because machine actually feels that there's additional smart card store and the certificate that exists there. So if I do it like this, and if I type my PIN code, the application will start in the context of smart card user 1. So for example, if I go to my domain controller, it will not allow me to log on, but at least you can see. So you can see that by default, it gave me like current user, and so application was running under smart card user 1. It will give me some error saying that I'm not allowed to log in to domain controller. I can, you know what? Let's fix it. So I will go to policy. So this is my go policy. Okay. All right. Allow logon locally. Allow logon to the node. Let's make domain users. Can I do it? Maybe authenticated. Authenticated user. So everybody who is authenticated to the system good to use desktop. Now also, just to check if I have desktop enabled here. No desktop, allow. Okay, cool. So let's try it again. So this is what happened before I make the changes. Now it's working environment. So let me just, I want to log off as a user. And I want to log in based on certificate. So let's see if it will work. So this is my smart card. All right. So certificate login works from domain controller standpoint, from CA standpoint. Okay. Now what we need to do, the next step, is for privileged accounts users. So you can see here, if I switch user, I still can use this option. And this is what something that we don't want. To prevent this, we'll need to randomize this static password. And the way to do it is to select on Active Directory. If I go for Smart Card 1 user, you need to, under account, enforce him to use a smart card. This one. Smart card is required for interactive logon. So when I click on apply, technically what happened, Microsoft randomized a password for the user, and so nobody knows what password is. Right, okay. So this is what expected from me from the policy standpoint. So what I do in this case, if this would be privileged user, I would not be able to use a password for this user. So I need to have a smart card, and I type a PIN for a smart card, and then it allows me to log in. I need to install a SAM. So let me log off. Let me log on as a SAM account. And I will take install files. All right, give me a sec here. I will bring install file. Now on SAM, so this is going to be designated SAM server now. On SAM server, to make it work, we need to install middleware, advanced middleware. So I'm going to bring a middleware here. Sec first. So this is middleware. Middleware allows some additional functionality on top of what default smart card mini driver allows you to do. So for example, when user need to do perform self-services help desk operations, to make it happen, we need middleware installed on machine. So I go just with a typical install. Another thing, what this middleware does is register e-token as a crypto service provider, CSP. So I will show you in template, it allows you to select e-token and enforce certificate to be created inside of the e-token. Okay, we will do it in a second. Because this is virtual machine, all right, no any issues. So this is my server software. So just to show you what we have with middleware, how it works. Let me disconnect a smart card from here, from Windows. This is how we will see. So you see the token SecNet authentication client kind of pop up. And now it shows us the smart card e-token. And this is the way how the advanced, how the sec looks like. So if I click, and now I want to run SAM install. I don't need smart card here. I'm going with setup. There's two phases in this setup install. One is when we drop all files to hard drive. And the second one is when we configure how we want token being managed. Okay, so you can see it creates a few virtual directories for some service authentication manager services, self-services, administrator, help desk portal. So this is done here in this phase. Okay, so once the first phase finished, it takes me to configuration. So I can skip it, I can start system, I can run this later on, but this is the logical flow. So we have all files in place, now we configure, we do initial configuration for the system. So first question is asked, where's the users? Are users in SQL, in Tivoli, in Active Directory? So I choose an Active Directory because I don't want to manage a user separately. If, for example, you would not have a centralized place, some users in Active Directory A, some users in Active Directory B, so we can map ourselves to different Active Directories, but sometimes people like to have to manage users manually. So this will enable me to manage users outside of Active Directory. This option will make me read users from existing Active Directory. So since I selected external repository, so it asks me which kind. So if it's LDAP, it's one of those. If it's SQL, if it's inside of database, so my users right now in Active Directory. It's validate, so it's found at Active Directory, because sometimes if you have child domain, you maybe want to select users from child domain. So it depends how you want it. You can install it up front in child domain. So click on next. Now, second question is where you want to store technical information about application. So serial numbers of tokens, certificate expiration on the tokens, and so on. I can install local instance of database called Adam, or I can just store it inside of Active Directory. So if I choose this option, then it will have some benefits around high availability, because if I need to install additional SAM for HA, I will point it to the same database, to the same Active Directory, and replication will handle by Active Directory. If I choose this option, then I will not alter schema, but the second copy of SAM, I will also need to make sure my Adam local Lightning Directory services is replicated between nodes. Make sense?
Question, if you're storing it in Active Directory, are you extending the schema or using existing attributes?
No, we create a container, and we drop all our objects inside of the same very specific container. So if down the road you would like to delete it, you just delete this container from Active Directory.
Right, so no schema extension as far as additional attributes on objects or anything like that?
We call it schema extension. I think we do extend schema because we need to make at least point reference from user attribute to at least this object inside of our partition.
All right.
Yeah, we do make a schema extension. So let me go with the local instance. So what happened is my SAM knows from one side go to Active Directory with the users, and from another side all technical information stored in local Adam instance. Okay. So here you can say I have remote Adam, and you can bind it to remote Adam, or you just say I want to make it local. This is service account that my application will run with. Now, if you have HSM in-house, hardware security model, so database itself, Adam database is encrypted. We can store the master encryption key inside of our HSM. So right now I don't have HSM. Click on next. So if everything is okay, and if you have permissions, and if no issues, then so right now it installs Adam. Now it's dropped inside of this Adam. It drops the structure that you can see this partition. This is what I talked about. So if I would select Active Directory, the same thing, same objects were created under Active Directory. Again, everything, schema extension, everything happened locally on this box. I mean, on this Adam database, not in Active Directory. So now it's kind of hardening IIS web servers. It's start backend processes, and technically we're done with SAM install. Okay. So there's some scheduled tasks here that goes around licensing, user synchronization, token expiration notification, things of this nature. So you just have it here, you do not touch it. Policy for tokens. So same concept with GPO, so how you configure group policy. Very similar, you configure a token policy. So you can see we created extended tab under token policy. And when I open it, it will try to connect to local IIS server and specifically to this virtual directory, so it's XML going on. And then it retrieves the default policy from my application. So if I go inside, this is my group policy around token, hardware token. Now the same backend, SAM server, it also can validate one-time password. So right now we kind of all around certificates, but exactly same backend can process one-time password authentication. So let me show you at minimum what we need to configure. So give me a sec here. I will go and install this a local SMTP server. I'll do it. The message will come up. You will see it here. So it's kind of mail server. All right. So I will do mail server name. I'll do it localhost. Mail sender. Doesn't matter, but I can do it from SAM. Demo local. Okay, so I don't need authentication right now. SMS provider. Again, it's usually done for application notification. Whenever you enroll token, you can maybe send a message to a user saying, we just enrolled token for you. Go ahead, come to us and pick it up. You can send exactly the same thing over SMS. Also, if you have out-of-band token, SMS provider, you will use it to generate this SMS message saying your OTP token is 1234. So now let's go and see how I would make certificate authority to create a certificate on the user device. So what you can see here is all around how we want token to behave whenever we initiate it. And connector settings is content on what we want on the token itself. Okay, so specifically right now I want a certificate on the token itself. So I will create a new request. You can see it found my CA server in my enterprise. It's enterprise 2008. This is what I have. Smart card will go on. I have SAM, admin for administrative. So this is for help desk. When help desk engineer will generate certificate for me. And this one is when user come by itself and ask for certificate. So I use two different templates. And you remember, I can use the same template, but I did this role separation to add additional controls on help desk engineer whenever he comes to provision certificate for me. So once I have this request in place, there are some options that I can also make happen. So I can publish CRL whenever I revoke certificate or I generate certificate. I can do certificate auto certificate renewal. So in my database, I will have knowledge when certificate is about to expire. So I can, ahead of the time, reach out to CA and ask for renew this specific certificate. Now remember, I made Smart Card Logon checkbox. So Sam can go and alter a domain property, user property, based on activity. So once we activated certificate for the user, the application will reach out to AD and check this checkbox saying smart card is required for login. So for this kind of sort of activities where I go and make some changes in Active Directory, I do need a domain account, domain admin account. Otherwise, based on what exactly you need that happen, you can make a delegation. Okay. Some additional thing that I know sometimes people use, it's certificate department. So it allows us to inject certain field, and then whenever you come to mutual user authentication, you can make additional validation on certificate for the presence of this field. So let's say issued by Oshkosh, and then as a part of certificate validation, you can search for this very specific string. So this is something that people do. So click on apply. I configure the way how I want certificate to be generated for the user and placed inside of the token. So I have it enabled. Now let's say I want each token here very specific certificate. So I have another option here. So each one kind of configure the backend, how it operates. Flash management, remember I show you the token with the flash on it. So flash management will allow you to pre-configure certain files that you want to be uploaded to inside of this flash partition. P12, it's if you want to inject very specific certificate to the user, let's say in internal root certificate or issuing certificate if you don't have CRL available. So you want just to make it approval for the certificate and so on. So OTP is the way how you want one-time password portion of SAM to work. There is a bunch of settings here, and you can configure it as well. So the nice part is, from the licensing standpoint, let me show you how you see licensing. So I have configuration manager. From the licensing standpoint, you have SAM that comes with amount of total user for SAM server. So here it will say amount of users. And let's say you purchase 1,000 users. Then out of this 1,000 users, so it means how many records from the user standpoint the system will support. And then you can have additional token types per user. So you can buy a license for mobile pass. The basic license kind of covers smart cards, and mobile pass is additional type of token. Now, whenever it comes to add additional licenses, you go to the SafeNet Authentication Manager Configuration Manager under SafeNet SAM Configuration Manager, and you will go license, add, and you will paste certain line that you will receive from us, or actually you will generate on web, on licensing center. And then these numbers, those numbers will be changed. So this is how maximum, how many in total you might have, and this is how many in use right now. All right, you can select what is the default password for the token going. And then you have an option to complexity, for the token complexity, specify how what you would like token password looks like, and so on. So some additional options. Now from this token settings, what I would say important is if you would like to initiate token every time you make any changes on the token itself. So if I go to this option, it will make token initiate. I will initiate token every time I run. Now there's additional options. So here's around the password, and I can set a random password for the token whenever I generate token. But at the same time, email will go to the end user and say, hey, we just make you a token, and this is your initial passcode. So let me show you how it works. So this is the PIN code. Every time I have a new token, I want to initiate it. So I want to insert knowledge about this token serial number into SAM database. So this is, I want to do it only on the first time, but maybe you would like to do token initiation on every time you use this token. You can specify how many tokens you want per user. So not more than 2 tokens for the user. So what you would like this random password to be, I want it only to be numbers. 4 characters, like a PIN code for 4 characters. Password may be changed in the first login. Yes, we want to change it. So I kind of control how token is going to be prepared for the user on the first use. Okay. There's a concept of questionnaire. It's if you plan to have some rescue portal where user can come and report about lost token. So think about user lost his token, or his token became damaged, and now he comes to self-services portal to report about lost token. So we want, at this stage, we want to have a strong user authentication. So we do it based on questionnaire. And this questionnaire need to be answered ahead of the time so we can use it whenever it's relevant. So you have this option to enforce user as a part of token enrollment to answer on questionnaire. So let me put it aside for now. Recovery options. So this one is interesting, and this is exactly what I told you about remote challenge response token unlock. And so here you can do some policies saying around if you enable this option at all. Audit notification. So anything that happened to, so enrollment notification, we want to send a user notification about the token that we just enrolled for him. Default template. So I need to go and select template for this user, and we do provide certain templates. So let me find this template. All right. So we want template for token notification. or I can save also this notification letter. I can save it on my desktop and send it later on with any other method how I deliver notification to the user. Or I can send notification by email. So we will see all these options. You can also send it to print or SMS or external program. So this is how you notify the user about specific event of token enrollment. Now, audit trail, you also have a set of notifications that system can do for you whenever any event happens. So, for example, this is rule that will define some event that happened to user. So, for example, user disabled or enabled. I want to notify it at the information level. Now I will be selecting who's going to be what's going to happen to this user. So let's say admin 1. And template. We'll do template. All right, so I created also notification rule for the user. In a minute, we will start to see all these emails coming to server. All right, so this is kind of all I wanted to do here. And this is the way to kind of access the interface. So IIS offers authentication. So in addition to IIS rules, system offers 3 main interfaces. We have 3 main interfaces. Management, so it's when help desk happens. Self-services, it's where user come and ask for a token, or rescue portal. So under management, we have a different roles, and specifically administrator, same account is administrator. If your help desk need to have an access, you can add additional users here. Under specific permission. So you can also create a groups here. Okay, now I guess I'd like to have like to reach my SAM services portal. First time a service starts, it takes a little bit time to compile this .NET and all the stuff. But once it's done, we find ourselves in help desk portal. So you can see here licensing. When we install, you have 90 days and you have 10 tokens or 5 tokens of each type. But for what we're trying to do, it's perfectly okay. So I have a help desk. So let me go to deployment because I don't have any token right now. I want to deploy a token based on the username. I can start and type username, and then system will give me users that based on my substring. Now, if I make it just empty, just space, then I will see entire Active Directory, all users. So let me enroll certificate for user SC1. I want to enroll it. Now it will fail because I don't have enrollment agent. but I want to show you how we then will solve this issue. Okay, so because my scenario right now is when I'm help desk and I'm trying to enroll token for the user, and I have the token plugged into my machine. Okay, so customized environment, I only will have only a single certificate. Now you also remember that I selected option that will initiate token on the first use. So all this will done if I successfully enroll token. It also gives me an option to initiate token, so I potentially could uncheck it and just enroll a single certificate. All right, let me just initiate the token. So what happens now, my token is blinking. It's kind of been formatted and inserted into the database, same database, but I was not able to enroll token because I don't have this enrollment certificate. Okay, so I need to go and provision myself enrollment certificate to be able and create certificate on behalf of other user. Since I'm domain admin, and again, it's very much tied on PKI permissions. So you can, whenever you create this template, you can very much tie it to maybe 1 or 2 people in the organization, because this one is very powerful template. Okay, so now if I refresh, I have enrollment agent. And you remember, based on the template, I need at least 1 enrollment agent to make things happen. So let me go back. So you can see token was kind of provisioned, but the content on the token are empty. So let me see. Token name is changed, and there's nothing on the token. Okay. So let me try to enroll it again. All right. So token been enrolled. I just did you notice what I mentioned? Whenever it comes to certificate template, I choose wrong pre-requirements instead of certificate auto request agent, and this is what enrollment agent does. I selected client authentication certificate, so it was wrong parameter that I choose here. All right, so once I have token enrolled, so a few things happen here. First of all, user received his email. So initial one was 1400. Then I will create my PIN code. Now you can see here complexity. So it asked me for 3 different types. I need the 3rd one. So I did letters and numbers, and now I do special character. So it goes to 100%. So I change my password as a user on the first use, and then I can delete this orphan object that I don't want. Okay. So this is the token, and this is usually the token how it looks like from the user standpoint. Now, if I go back to the system, I see that this user status enabled and normal, and so this is how you know that user was enrolled with the token. Now you want to see what's inside of this token. So you will go to help desk, and you can use different filters. So for specifically, if you know the username, you will go and you will search for a username. And so we have a single user with the token and with Microsoft CA or content of Microsoft CA policy that shows expiration date a year from now, right? Yep. Now you can have more information and what exactly how the profile looks like and what was the request and so on, so on. So it's a completely kind of a profile of this user. Now, if somebody gives you a token, so and you don't remember what his username and so on, because token is plugged to your machine, let me see. So it automatically found the user. It read token content, application reads token content associated, found what is user associated with this token, and enable make a help desk operation. Now, what technically help desk operations are? You can revoke token. So if somebody departs from an organization, you need to revoke all certificates. So click on revoke, and then you can also specify kind of reason why, and then the serial number for this token will be marked in database as a revoked token with certain reason. Now, lost token can obviously be found down the road, but damaged token, we assume that it's dead token. To real quick show the main part that we wanted to see is right now my machine is connected to network, right? And so I do my connection online. Now I want to show you example what happened if, and we wanted to see how offline authentication will work. Right, so there's no networking. Because the credentials being cached in the Windows, it does not require me to have a real-time interaction with your infrastructure. So, for example, if I'm at home or my laptop is offline, I still can validate or can work with my card. So I want to have my token. I can unlock my token. So let me show you how you, what actually happened, what does it mean to unlock your token. So when you have your token, this is my token. If I want to unlock it, token generates challenge. And then I paste the challenge. And system gives me a response. So I copy the clipboard and I type it here. And then it will allow me to change my PIN code without me remembering what was it originally. So think about, you try to log into the system for a number of times and you just keep typing your password incorrectly, or somebody use a brute force attack. And after 15 times, you can configure it, but after 15 times, it will lock down the token. So you cannot use it. Every time you try to use it, it will say token is locked. Normally what happens, different systems, is whether you remove everything from token, you initiate it, you format it, and then you generate certificates again. Or maybe you do have some information that you really don't want to lose. So self-services portal, one of the functionality that I am as a user can do is unlock my token, right, remotely. And this is one of the things that SAM server gives you whenever he manages all inventory of all tokens. So this is what I wanted to show you. You can report token to be lost or damaged. And it will show on SAM database stage as the token is locked or damaged. So if let me real quick go through reports. So I can have a token inventory, token history, token expiration, and so on. So let me go token inventory. I want to see all tokens that right now I have on the system. This is a report how it looks like. I can make additional filter for this report. So to see since last week, all tokens that were created since last week and so on. On this report, you can see serial number of token. So each token has a serial number on it. And let me just validate it so you can see. 02317 319. Yep. So on the back of the token, you see the same serial number, the version of token, status of token, who's the owner of token, when it was created or modified. Right. So let me go back to select report, token expiration. I can see when I say token expiration, technically it's also certificate expiration, right? So you can capture this event when token is expired. Token audit. You can see all events that happen since I was trying to play with this token. So I got some errors, and then I got some successful authentication. And then you can see that last thing that SAM knows is that this token was used on SAM self-services center. I started with management, and then it was used on SAM services. Some other reports may be less relevant. Installed everything from scratch on the box. Show smart card operation with or online and offline, and I show you some reporting capabilities of the system.